guys, welcome to this vlog, or at least I think I'm gonna make it a separate vlog. This is kind of a weird month. I am doing 2 month-long readathons, or I'm gonna try to anyway, and so we'll see how that goes. Basically, I was already planning on doing the Thankful-a-thon, found it towards the end of October and decided it would be a good idea. And then last night, today is November 2nd, so November 1st, I was just kind of scrolling, looking at things, and noticed that there was an announcement for a readathon this month that sounded really interesting. The YouTuber that I found it through was Drinking by My Shelf. I just recently started following her, but I really love her content, so go check her out if you haven't already. And it's called the 1,000 Doors Readathon. And it's like a choose your own adventure readathon, which kind of intrigued me because I loved those books as a kid. But basically, you start from one of the 3 co-host channels. I don't remember all their names because I'm not familiar with the other 2. I barely know the first one. So I went with the prompt by Drinking by My Shelf. And basically what you do is you choose one of their prompts, and then you have to find a book that matches that prompt. Once you're done reading it, then you return to the video, and then there's a challenge. So like, you know, you give it the book a star rating or whatever. And from there, you go to the next prompt. So I think for the first one, it is a star rating. So like if I give it a 4-star, I click the video that takes me to the 4-star prompt, if it's 5-star, and so on and so forth. So depending on how the first book goes, you'll end up doing any number of different challenges. So not everybody is going to have the same prompts or be going down the same path. It's kind of just like where it leads you, which I think is kind of fun. And also there's no preparing, no like getting a TBR ready because you don't know what you're going to be reading. Which to me is almost a little bit stressful because I like to know, I like to have a goal. So they put all the videos up, and I think the first week they said they're going to be the most active, but everything's open for the month of November as far as like winning prizes or whatever, which I don't care too much about, but I would like to finish the challenge this month, partially to get this vlog up. So because I am also doing the Thankful-a-thon, as much as I can, I want the TBRs to match. So if I get a prompt, I'm going to try as hard as I can to have it work for one of the books that I'm already planning on reading for the Thankful-a-thon. So that's why I'm kind of not sure how I'm going to do this vlog. If I'm going to just put both readathons in one, because I'll potentially be reading all the same books for them, or have 2 separate vlogs. I don't know. It's kind of fun just like seeing where this readathon will take me, though. I think that's half the fun of it. So the first prompt that I chose was 5. And that could be interpreted however you want, but for me, I have volume 5 of Monstrous. I was already going to read this because there is a diverse author. Her name is Sana Takeda. I think that's how you pronounce it. So she is my diverse author, and this goes with volume number 5. I'm hoping to finish this today. Technically, I did start the readathon, I think, a day late, but I'm not sure. Because they're in Britain, I think. So the time difference, like, I haven't figured out what all that equates to. So they're doing, like, sprints while I'm eating lunch, which I guess works out. But I don't think there will be any reading sprints for this readathon that I can really participate in too much, just because most of them are gonna be already asleep when I'm at home. So yeah, that was a lot of rambling. Anyway, hopefully I'll cut some of that down. Basically, first prompt was number 5. I'm reading volume 5 of this. I will update you later when I know what the next prompt is, which will hopefully be later tonight, because I think I'm a little over halfway. And because I didn't say, I did read this at work. That's why I've actually done some reading. I did no reading yesterday. But I try sometimes, if I can, to read during my lunch break. I usually take 30-40 minutes for lunch, every once in a while an hour if I just really need a break that day. But yeah, I always try to have a book with me, especially if like for some reason I get stuck somewhere or stuck doing something or waiting for something. You know, you could just pop out your book and read it. Anyway, I'm gonna go eat some dinner and then get to reading. This really doesn't spoil anything, but it shows you just the amount of detail that like goes into this. It's beautiful. Pretty dark, but beautiful. Okay guys, I am done with this book. I would give it a 5 stars. I think honestly the entire series I would give 5 or 4 stars for every single volume. So I'm gonna go figure out what my next book is. I just watched the video and my prompt, because I gave it 5 stars, is a meme basically saying I'm back. So it could be a book that I previously put down. I could reread a book. Read a book that's in a series. I don't know. I really want an excuse to read Addie LaRue. But then I also have like the Scott Pilgrim series. I'm gonna go upstairs and check it out and just see what's going on in my TBR. Okay, so inevitably we're going back to The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm gonna justify that it's a we're back book by saying that I put it down for a few days, which is true. I put it down to read Monstrous, put it down to do some stuff this weekend, and so I'm coming back to the book. I didn't put it down for very long, but that's okay. The other option was probably the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I want to read this, and it's part of a series I'll be coming back to, but I just really want to work on Addie LaRue if I'm going to read a book that's not like a graphic novel that'll take me an hour to read. So I'm gonna go read that for a bit. Not sure how far I'll get tonight though. Obviously, just the cutest. I'll be reading and he'll just come up and snuggle. But then if I leave, he takes up all the space. What you doing? I'm not gonna lie though, when I was reading it yesterday, I did cry. I'm not gonna tell you what page I was on because I don't want to spoil anything. Honestly, there was something like super sad that happened, and it wasn't like a sob cry. It was, you know, just a little tear. I don't know, just the way that she writes and the way that she describes what's happening and what happened in the past and who the characters are and stuff. Yeah, it made me cry. And I think I can say this is the first book that has ever made me cry. I can't think of any off the top of my head that I have ever cried in. Like, I've gotten sad, maybe teared up a little, but that's it. So good job to this book. I definitely can't wait to read the rest, but I am sad that I'm getting towards the end. It's a good time in this book. It's a sad time, but I love the like melancholy, hopeful like vibe that this gives. I don't know what else to compare it to, but I like the vibe of the book for sure. I'm not done with the book, but I predict it's going to be a 5-star. And I do recommend you go buy it. I will say though, there is some there's a little bit of sex and stuff in it. So if that's not your jam, don't read it. But it's not like that's the whole book. It's 1 or 2 places here and there, and it's pretty brief. So I don't know. I'm not going to attempt to give trigger warnings on any books that I ever read about because there could be so many trigger warnings for each book that I'm not going to get through them all. So if you need to look that up, go find it somewhere else because I'm not the best person to do that. Anyway, I'm going to get to reading now. Hey guys, I'm in the office right now. It is Thursday, November 4th? 5th? It's the 5th. I am working from home today. I basically just have meetings all day. When I say all day, I mean like 8:30 to 5 with a half hour for lunch, which is what is happening right now. So I'm reading a little bit of this while I can. Tonight, I don't think I'll get a whole lot of reading done because Thomas and I are gonna go have dinner with his family for his nephew's birthday. So I'm not sure how much time I'll have to read, but I can get a little bit done. 7 more pages to go. Might finish it tonight. I'm done. So I actually like the ending. It seemed like it was kind of going in a direction that I was like, meh. And then in the end, it kind of like shows the intentions of one of the characters. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want to spoil it if someone watching this is going to read the book. But I do recommend it. I do say read it. It's a really good book. I would say it's one of my new favorites. I give it 5 stars. I did cry a little bit. Not much. I'm not much of a crier when it comes to books, so it was actually surprising. And honestly, it wasn't, I think I already said this, but it wasn't like there was a traumatic moment that made me cry. It was just kind of the like buildup of small things. But yeah, it was a very good book. The ending, if you've read this will make sense. There is closure. I would be happy not continuing on with these characters and saying that this is a book and it's done. However, she does sort of leave it open so there could be a sequel. It would be very easy to pick up and go into the next book, and I would be happy with that as well. But either way, whatever she decides to do, the ending is versatile. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a fine ending. I don't mind the way it ended. I actually kind of appreciate the way it ended. I want to say more, but I don't know how much is too much when it comes to like ruining a book for somebody. So I'm trying to like tread lightly here. Yeah. I don't want to say if the ending was happy or sad or whatever because I don't want to tell you guys how it ended. So anyway, just know that I thought it was a good book. 5 stars for me anyway. So I'm gonna update Goodreads and then probably go to bed. I did already watch the video for the next door because I am giving this a 5 stars. I wrote it down. The next prompt is oh no, it wasn't because I wrote 5 stars. That was the first one. It was because I think I didn't see where it was going. Yeah. I sort of... No, I didn't. Because I thought something was going to happen. It didn't happen. And then it like sort of tweaked. I wouldn't say it was a huge twist, but it wasn't 100% what I expected to happen. So I said, no, it's not what I expected. So then the next prompt is something like Marvel. So the closest thing that I have is probably the Scott Pilgrim series. So I'm just going to read the first comic. I'm going to say that it's like Marvel in that it has like that action-y kind of vibe to it, or at least the movie does. I haven't read the books, so I don't really know. So I'm going to read the first graphic novel, at least. I don't know if probably won't make it through the whole series, but I'll read the first one. Yeah, I guess really it's just action-y, because Scott Pilgrim is like not really a hero, but then there's like villain characters, so I'm gonna say it's close enough to Marvel. Kind of has a little bit of that vibe. So I'm gonna go to bed. I will see you guys probably tomorrow. Hopefully I'll get some reading done. Okay guys, we're kind of close on my face because I'm holding Bran and I don't want to disturb him. But I just finished reading this volume 1. I have had a headache off and on all day, so I'm kind of glad I was reading a graphic novel because honestly I don't think I could read a normal book. I don't know. I took like some ibuprofen and it kind of helped for a while, but it's back. So I don't know if I'm going to do a whole lot more reading tonight. We'll see. But I finished reading this, and then the question was, how do I feel about the main character? Do I like him or not? And so the options for the door was to either choose kinda, yes, no, or DNF. I'm trying to figure out how I just, like, how do I feel about this character? Do I like him? Do I not? Obviously, DNF isn't an option because I did read it all. It only took like an hour or something. But I don't know how I feel about, like, I don't like the fact that, like, he's dating a high school girl when he's 23, and then he decides, yeah, he's dating a girl when he's 23. She's in high school. She's 17. That's a little bit weird. And then he decides to go on with somebody else. It's not great. And then, like, randomly, this might be spoilers for the next, like, 20 seconds. Randomly, he, like, apparently is the best fighter in the province. I guess it takes place in Canada. I've seen the movie. I haven't read the books before. I don't know. It's more just, like, a weird, random... I'm gonna say that I do like him. I don't know if the movie is affecting my judgment on that, because I know what happens later. And in this beginning part, like, I guess I don't like him as much. I grow to like him a little bit more. It's just kind of a weird setting, I guess. So I ended up clicking on yes. I like him. He's an okay character. He's interesting to follow around. Do I agree with all of his choices? No. But I think in order to make realistic characters, you have to give your characters flaws. So, I don't know. I said yes, so my next prompt is up. So the most obvious choice, I think, is to read the next volume, because it's the next up. So volume 1, volume 2, the numbers are going up. I don't know. That makes sense to me. Also because I am kind of headachy, that makes my life easier to have that as my next book. So I'm going to actually have it with me, because I was intending to read some at work. I didn't know how long these were going to take me, so I had them both in my backpack. So this is volume 2, so I might get started on this tonight. I don't know if I'll finish it, but yeah. Overall, it's okay. It's not, like, amazing. I don't know how many stars I would give it. Like 3, maybe? Obviously, if you've seen the movie, you know what's gonna happen. It's been a while since I've seen the movie, but it seems like it was relatively accurate. Of course, I feel like a lot of times when movies are based off of books, the beginning is usually pretty close, and then it, like, towards the middle or end is where it starts to be different. It's just, it kind of gives me, like, this 80s vibe, and they're, like, in a rock band, and then he has to fight this chick's 7 exes. I don't know, it's just this, like, weird, it's a weird vibe. So I'm gonna go and maybe read a little bit more before I cook some dinner. And this is why I was holding the camera so close to my face, because I couldn't move this arm. He's snoring. I don't know if you can hear that. I just looked on Goodreads, and the graphic novel has, like, 4.17 stars. And this is why I feel like it's better to judge something before looking at the ratings, because if I looked at the ratings, I think I could be swayed to say that it was 4 stars, because it's, like, it's good. And I was kind of scrolling through what other people were saying, and people were like, it's such a great vibe, lifts your spirits, blah, 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 and maybe I'm just not into that. Like, I'm thinking maybe the happy, like, random vibe just isn't really me. Because I was talking about, like, Addie LaRue and Practical Magic and those books and how I love their vibe, but their vibe is very much, like, kind of more of a melancholy, almost more, like, sad. So maybe it's the vibe of the book. I like the opposite vibe, and that's why I wasn't amazed. It was a good book, but I wouldn't say it was amazing. Maybe instead of, like, 3 stars, I'd say it's, like, 3.5. It was okay. We'll see if it gets better throughout the series. Also, I am reading this book for the Thankful-a-thon, so I don't know how I'm gonna edit these videos, because I don't know, it gets confusing. I'll probably just do a quick intro for the Thankful-a-thon, or, like, add to my intro and just say that I read these books for another readathon and give my quick thoughts. That way you guys don't have to hear this twice if you watch both videos. I don't know. I feel like that's probably the easiest way to do it, because I'm not going to put the clips of me talking about all of the books in both of them, because one, it'll make the Thankful-a-thon video super long. And two, then if anybody wants to watch both of them, like, you're just watching the same stuff over and over again, and that's kind of annoying. Good morning, guys. I'm here. I have my coffee, and as per usual on a Saturday morning, I got my laundry started before doing anything else. But now I'm gonna read and sit on my couch and snuggle up with a blanket. So I finished the second Scott Pilgrim book last night right before bed, and I looked just now to see what my next prompt was. So the question was basically, how do you feel about the setting of the book? I said I kind of like it because it is kind of like just a normal everyday life setting, but then there's just like random stuff that they throw in that's kind of like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, there was a part where Scott Pilgrim defeats somebody, whatever, and then there's like a skateboard, like you're in a video game, and he's like, oh man, I can't use it because I didn't choose the skateboarding power, whatever, in 5th grade. So it's like, it's just confusing. Like, I get that they're trying to make it like a video game sort of thing, but I feel like they don't really explain it well enough for it to make sense, if that makes sense. So I said kinda. I mean, it's okay. It's also about like rock bands and stuff like that, and typically that's not really my jam. So I said kinda, and then the prompt for the next book is weapon. So the guy was going off, he was saying you could read something with like a weapon on the cover, or that has a weapon in the book. Could be that people fight and they're using their fists as a weapon. So I was like, well, I mean, there's fighting and stuff in Scott Pilgrim, so I guess you could say there's weapons in Scott Pilgrim. And the last one, somebody attacked somebody else with knives. So obviously I'm not 100% sure what weapons they'll use in here, but I'm assuming there will be something. So I'm gonna read the next book. My goal is to read this entire series this month anyway. Am I cheating by making it fit my TBR and just continue with the whole series? I'm not trying to, but it does seem that I keep getting prompts that fit. So I am going to continue the series. I am liking it, but I'm not loving it. So I'm not one of those fanatics about Scott Pilgrim, I guess, that's like, oh, it's the best movie ever. It's amazing. So great. But it's good. So I would say the last one probably, again, had like a 3.5 stars, you know, a little above average, I guess. So I'm going to take my morning to finish this, and I think it's the last book I need to read. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's the last book, because this is book 5, right? Because it was Monstrous, The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and Scott Pilgrim 1 and 2, and this is, and I think that they're supposed to go through 5 doors. So I might be done with the readathon after this book. I guess this large hammer is my weapon in this book, so that means it fills the prompt. Alright guys, I am back because I have finished this book, and I was right, this is the last book I'll be reading for this readathon. So to kind of sum it up, I read Monstrous Volume 5, and then I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and then Scott Pilgrim Volumes 1 through 3. It kind of worked out that I was able to actually make all the prompts work for my TBR for the Thankful-a-thon. I'm really glad I was able to do that because I'm already trying to read like 12 books this month. Which is a lot. Granted, 6 of them are graphic novels, so I think each one takes me like an hour-ish to read, maybe a little over an hour, so it's not too bad. I did actually enjoy all the books that I read. These, I would say, like 3.5 stars probably for all of them. I did like this one a little bit more than the rest, so maybe I would say this is a 4-star. I think just the humor in it, and then it like the humor about vegans, I don't know, it made me laugh. So yeah, I also really enjoyed The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue, and Monstrous is always good. I'm always waiting for the next one to come out. So that sums up this vlog. I'm probably gonna try to edit this and get it up soon, because they are doing a like contest, or I guess more of like a drawing for people who do vlogs. So I think like 3 people who did vlogs are randomly chosen and get a little candle, which, I mean, I don't need the candle. I would have vlogged this either way, but it's kind of fun. So I'm gonna edit this, hopefully get it up soon. Yeah, thanks to everyone who hosted this. It was a lot of fun. I'm excited to do it again next year if you decide to do it again. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, it is still early and I am not fully awake. I think they're probably still going to do some reading sprints today, so maybe I'll participate reading other books. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye for now. If you enjoyed this, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a comment. Let me know what other readathons I should check out, or if there's any good book recommendations you have for me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!